the words of the prophet. What does the Lord require of thee? That's the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. And it's a great question. What does the Lord require of us as his people? And Micah listed three things: to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before thy God. And I saw this word concept, do justly. And I thought, well, what does that mean? And basically, it's just simply this, is to do what is right, especially what is right in God's view. From God's perspective, what is right. And of course, that has to do with knowing who God is. And you're not going to realize these things without a relationship with God. But that requires time and effort. It requires diligence to be able to seek after God and to establish a relationship with him, so that God would show you what is right, what is justice. You see, a lot of times you hear that concept thrown around today. Well, just looking for justice. Just want to find justice. But a lot of times it's not justice, it's vengeance, and having a heart to have revenge. And that's not justice. Because you see, justice only really comes from God. God is the only one who can define what is right and what is wrong, what truly is just. I remember one time I was trying to explain this to somebody, and I was just kind of struggling with it. And then I thought about, okay, what is it that is always going to be standing straight? I mean, in other words, if you see that one thing, you say, well, that's true. And then you draw your lines from off that. And you do this, carpenters a lot of times, they're looking for that one part of the house. It's what they would refer to it as being, it's correct, it's true. And then you build everything else around that, because that's the best way to keep things in order as you're building. And of course, in our quest to find joy and peace, we're looking for order. And I think a lot of times people don't understand that. They're just nervous, they're confused, they're frustrated, and they can't even really figure out why it is that they're having these character issues going on. Well, it's simply this, is there's a need for every person to find some order in their lives. But a lot of times what we do, we end up in our quest for order, we create more chaos. And of course, that just adds to more confusion in our lives. And after a while, it's just all spinning and we don't know what's going on. Well, to find order in our lives, we have to go back to God. Because the only true measure of righteousness and what is right is God himself, the creator of all things. He's the only one that is truly right, or as the scripture says, righteous. And that only comes from God. He's the only standard. And so we have to go to God. And we say, well, God, you show me what truly is right. And then I'll pattern my life and my character after the true measure of God, as to show me what indeed is justice. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.